unraveling a what-if Bulls chasing Miami, Heat's Big Three during Derrick Rose's time, podcast. Imagine if the Bulls had grabbed Miami Heat's Big Three when Derrick Rose was leading the team. This story originally appeared on NBC Sports Chicago. In a recent Bulls Talk podcast, NBC Sports Chicago's Tony Gill, Jason Goff, and Casey Johnson dug into the summer of 2010. Back then, the Bulls were trying to bring in LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh. Johnson goes back to his old reports, revealing that he genuinely believed the Bulls had a real chance to sign all three superstars. If that wild scenario had actually unfolded, how different would the Bulls be today? At the time, I was working hard on this story, and people were calling me crazy, thinking I was just making things up, Johnson shared. I was connected to the Chicago Tribune back then, and my sources were solid on this. Let me assure you, it was really close to happening. Trust me on this. People were telling me that the plan was set during the Olympics and that the Heat were always the pick, playing the Bulls for show. No, that's not the truth. The Bulls were genuinely trying. It's now well known that if the Bulls had managed to swap Luol Deng for the Clippers, which they talked about, that Big Three would have been in Chicago. Trust me on that. It was almost there. But when it fell through, it's now clear that the Bulls changed their strategy. They went for Carlos Boozer and a bunch of talented role players, and they battled the Heat until the crucial conference finals. Contrary to many other teams in the league, the Bulls couldn't just bring in all three big names due to salary restrictions, Johnson explained. That's why they considered trading Deng, who had become an all-star twice after that summer. The idea was to create space for all three stars to fit in. During the podcast, Johnson also shared that Dwyane Wade's team actually wanted a second meeting with the Bulls to seriously discuss the deal. That's when things started getting real and the direction changed. So imagine if history took a different turn. The Bulls could have had a powerhouse trio with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh alongside Derrick Rose. But fate had other plans, leading the Bulls to forge a new path with different players and a different story to tell.